Hello there, hope you're doing good. This is Let's Talk Love, great discussions of love, family with Professor Herman Manyora as always. And today I have a message. It's interesting. It's one that you'd like to stick around to the end for. And just go straight to the message, Prof. It says, my husband has had an affair, or my husband is having an affair for 4 months now, and he has been trying to hide it so much from me to a point that I feel pity for him, because he struggles even to the point of going to pick calls outside and leaving the house, pretending there is no network in the house and such. How do I teach him to hide his affair without being caught? Because my own affair, and this is the wife, my own affair is now 2 years old and he knows nothing about it. He's really suffering, trying to hide his end of the secret, yet I knew about the affair on the first week. And I don't want to ask him about it or bother him because he's a very good husband. He gives me and provides for our kids and everything we need. And on my side, I am sorted. Interesting, huh?
They are going into what I hear is about to get into what you people are calling open relationships.
It's getting open, but now this one is open but closed at the same time.
But you see, you don't need to be religious to know that some of the things like Sodom and Gomorrah and the rest, that it simply means what you call modernity or civilization pushes you to certain levels where that which made you a human being begins to disappear and you become an animal. And civilizations must then come to an end and start all over again.
This one has to die.
So that's where we are heading now.
So we start from scratch.
So if we want to accelerate that, fine. A woman openly talking about her 2-year relationship as if it's a very good thing.
Yeah, she doesn't
she foolishly thinks it's a very good thing.
There's no remorse in the message.
She foolishly thinks it's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's what she thinks. It's because it's not a good thing. And the man, on the other hand, let me tell this woman, because I want to help women like her.
Yeah.
Somebody can be reacting to that relation of yours without him knowing. Maybe this man has been pushed into the relationship because of the relationship that woman has.
Yet she thinks she's smart.
She thinks she's smart. But the man may not even know. The relationship the woman has, the 2-year-old relationship, which she's so proud the husband doesn't know, could be exactly what is responsible for what the husband is
for
doing.
the 1 week relationship.
For the 4-week relationship.
Right.
Because she's having an affair with another man, there's a way in which she has become cold to the husband, and the husband is simply reacting to that cold. Subconsciously, or without even knowing it. The person you laughed with in bed until you fell asleep hits the bed and looks the other side. You may think it's normal. Maybe she's tired. But then that's what is leading you to another affair.
So maybe it's not a well-kept
The person
secret.
who enjoyed making you fish the way you like it,
yes,
now lets the house girl do it. Maybe there's a reason. So you don't read anything into it. But it's precisely that has made a girl who just cooked for you once in her house innocently become somebody you are now having an affair with. So that woman she's stupid. She doesn't think she's clever. You are not clever.
Wait, Prof. You're saying something interesting.
Yeah.
That even without someone confronting you directly, if you're cheating, there are telltale signs that,
you can pick consciously or unconsciously. Men have a problem knowing when women have affairs.
She obviously knows that.
Yeah, men have a problem knowing when their women have affairs. But that knowing is not very important. That not knowing a woman should know is not very important. But the new you.
The new you.
The new you is what will send your husband.
Telltale signs.
Without him knowing most times. Because men rarely know. Women get surprised at how stupid men are. But a woman, you have an affair outside, you come in the house, a woman just knows. The instincts of a woman are so sharp.
Because she's always looking.
What women do is they don't want to embarrass men. So they pretend not to know. Let me tell men, don't try to hide. Women know. If you have an affair outside,
she will know.
Your wife will know. If you went out in some lodging with some girl and came home, that night your wife will know. A normal woman will know when a man has had an affair outside. But what they do, like in many other things, women choose to protect a man's ego. That's what women have done throughout ages, to protect a man's ego.
And how does that play out?
It just plays out that. They just, when they know things, they pretend they don't know.
And it goes on and on, like here.
Even when you correct a woman, she knows you are wrong. But she proceeds to do what you want, but she knows you are wrong. Maybe at some point later, she will tell you. If you read this book, collection or whatever it's called, Utendi wa Mwana Kupona, a woman is advising the daughter. Tell her, men are just stupid people.
The poet from the coast from back in the day.
Yeah, pretend this, give a man this, do this, but you know they are just foolish people. So, that woman must know two things. Number one, that affairs are not the best things in a relationship.
But we can't seem to help
I'm not saying we don't do them, or men don't do them, women don't do them, but even as you do them, don't pretend it's a good thing. It's one thing to do and think it is good. It's quite another thing to do it, but no, it's a bad thing.
With remorse.
Yeah, you can do it, I know. You don't be, in other words, don't be proud of a stupid thing.
This one is very
There's nothing to be proud of in a stupid thing. Having an affair, if you are a married woman, it's a stupid thing. I'm not saying you don't do it, because the world is becoming so stupid anyway. But it is stupid to be proud of a stupid thing. But because your husband doesn't know, and then you think you are clever. You are stupid.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She's saying the reason she's not confronted him is because he's a good husband, a provider for the kids. Do you think that
now the husband is now reduced to a mere ATM?
So that's who he is now. Yes. But
let me tell this woman.
Yeah.
Just as I will tell the man something. Dear women listening to me, I've said before, being attracted to a man who is not your husband is normal.
It happens.
Flirting with a man is normal. It doesn't mean every time a man excites you, every time a man attracts you in the office, in the cafeteria, on the dance floor, it doesn't have to end up in bed. It shows you're an animal. That's what animals do, not human beings. The second thing I want to say is this. Women listening to me, many women who do those things, sooner than later, they realize they were useless things.
Later you realize I didn't want to do it.
Stupid. Now, why do people continue to do it? Psychologically, we know.
Yeah.
Through defense mechanism. If you allow guilt to set in, you can die. So the body has a way of dealing with guilt. And one strategy is you continue doing it.
You rationalize.
So when you see women continue to do the things they are doing, many of them are at that stage
to overcome that
where the defense strategies of the body system is in place, so that you rationalize it by continuing to do it, by celebrating those who do it, by interacting with other women like you. Is a defense strategy. Otherwise, the guilt will bring you down. But it's a better way of coming to terms with the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. You come to terms with the reality. Atone for your mistakes. Have a conversation around your problems with yourself first, with others close to you, and even with your husband. You know?
Yeah.
But many women, especially, I'm very particular about women. Many women who do these things, sooner than later get to realize that excitement you see. The six-pack you saw, there's nothing beyond that six-pack.
You find out that how much you love your husband trumps how much you want to do this.
Women have told me things. You know me, I'm a counselor, by the way, yeah?
Yeah.
I talk to I have clients, by the way. If anybody's listening, they have issues with their relationship. I'm not a trained counselor, but going by the number of clients I'm getting, in fact, I don't have time for my clients. There are so many. And oh, yeah. I have clients who come to me.
And they're getting helped.
Yeah.
They're getting the help they want.
Many of them are getting helped because the problems they have are very simple problems. You see, the things you see in a man, the man you see is not the man you'll get.
What you see from outside?
It's a facade. Most people have put a blanket so that you don't see them behind. That man who looks tough, let some small adversity, something small happen, you'll see a small boy in front of him. He'll be a small boy. It's jail, he'll just collapse. Some of the men you see in suits looking tough, when they receive a letter terminating their jobs, you can't know they are men you used to see. They just crumble.
But
So there's a make-believe man you see. Even that well-built body may not translate to a very good man in bed.
right.
So many women end up knowing that these are useless things.
But first they
Or do you
fall for
think
it.
life is about bed and sex alone? Then you realize after a short time,
There's more to life than
there's
this.
more to life than just sex. And at the end of the day, many people have also realized sex is as good as you make it with your partner.
Yes.
There isn't one parameter of sex that is paramount.
There's not one person who
No,
carries
not even
all
the
good
size,
sex.
they say size,
No.
not even the energy, not the vigor, not nothing. There's nothing. There isn't one single parameter.
It takes two to tango in good sex.
There isn't any one single parameter. So what you are admiring the other man, you realize you could just have had it at home.
And you don't
You
know
are
what
on, permanently yours. Permanent and punishable. Yours. You are admiring something in the bush. You bring it in the house. It's like a nice cat walking outside. Unaleta paka kwa nyumba anakula vifaranga ya kuku yote na mayai inaenda. So in other words, many women, and I'm using the word women because this applies to women more than men.
Specifically.
Many women end up regretting the moment they get into an affair. A very short time after that, they realize it was not worth it. It wasn't worth it. But the guilt
Yes.
must be managed. And there are many strategies. The simplest strategy of managing guilt is to continue doing. That's how we have alcoholism. You know how alcoholism steps in? Yeah, the same strategy, defense strategy. You want to convince yourself, after all, other people do it, why it is nothing, then you end up becoming an alcoholic. So if women were to be honest, they will walk out of that relationship. The one she's calling 2 years.
Yes.
I'm asking that woman. I want to ask that woman. Let me remove my glasses so that I can ask that woman.
You ask her, seeing her
I'm
clean.
asking that woman, look at my eyes and tell me, the man you got 2 years ago, is this the man you have?
Is it? And if you're so good, why don't you leave your husband for him?
Yes, I don't. It's not good. It's not as good. You must sustain it. Perhaps by now you are the one who is sponsoring his life.
Probably. Yeah?
It's like people who do business and it's going down, and you keep convincing yourself tomorrow will be better. You take a loan and pump inside. You know that kind of thing.
When you know you should stop.
Yes. So that woman perhaps is already at that stage where this business should be closed down. You count those losses, cut them and go away. But she's just soldiering on.
Getting deeper and deeper.
But I can tell her, if these relationships were worth it, we would have seen a lot more women divorcing their husbands to marry those lovers.
The side lovers. But they're not.
Instances of that are very minimal, even in the West. What does that tell you? It's just useless.
There's
And
a
for
thrill.
men, for a man, why are you struggling? If you are struggling to hide, it shows what you are doing is bad.
But you said men can't hide it from women.
No, I'm saying the way he's doing, and you are making yourself look like a fool. Going to take your phone outside the house. It's like the small girls people move. They go and take calls from the toilet. How can a man, this man I must tell him,
In his own house.
how can you be a man behaving like a small 20-year-old girl, moving with a man in a club and having to take calls and the text from the toilet? Are you a man anymore? You are no longer a man. Stop being a man. Put on a skirt. Because if you are a man, you should know what you are doing and do it.
Without sneaking around in your own house.
You look bad.
You look bad.
That also tells you what you are doing may not be good.
Wow.
It may not be something you are proud of.
You can't hide something you're proud of.
There's a simple rule in the book. If there's anything you do and you don't want people to know you are doing it, it's not a good thing.
That's why you're hiding it.
And that's how sorry to go back to alcoholism. That's how it is. The moment you begin to hide your drink,
It's a problem.
something is telling you people will be worried about you. So you are hiding from them. You are on the way to alcoholism. In fact, you're just one step behind if you are not already there. the first sign of alcoholism
Is hiding
is
the
when
drink.
you begin to hide your alcohol. Because you even you yourself, you know. Hata kama umekunywa breakfast, watu nakula breakfast, na wewe unaumwaga kidogo, hata wewe mwenyewe unajua hii ni makosa. So unachukua unaenda kwa bafu unapiga papa, unarudi kwa breakfast table. Hata si tayari unajua ni hata kwa nyumba una hide mahali mama hawezi ona, ama mzee hawezi kuona. If you are a wife of somebody and you are having to hide alcohol, it means you already know it's a bad thing. And sure enough, it will bring you down. So at that stage, when you reach there, I used to drink. I was a social drinker, although I was a heavy drinker. I used to drink, and I never would drink in my house. Never.
No.
Or go to a bar alone, and it can't. And I never used to drink during the day. I just drink in the evening, and I'm a very heavy drinker. Then my doctor told me one time that you should stop drinking, but you can have wine. And I can advise anybody, the moment you leave alcohol and go to wine, this other alcohol, go to wine, you are going down. Wine is very addictive.
It is.
So I found myself, for the first time, with wine in the house. I said, what? Half bottles. Ile mnanunua chupa inabaki nimeleta. Nikaona karibu 4. Is this me?
Yeah, your alcoholism was graduated.
What made me now stop, and not just alcohol, wine, but now completely think about complete stopping, is I was going to give a speech.
Right.
A talk. I was a guest speaker in a school. And I was driving myself. So when I reached the school, before they could come and receive me, a big man amekuja na gari kubwa, I quickly I had a bottle in the car.
Took a swig.
Kidogo wine, and then I said, I'm gone. And that was the last.
Did you do that? Did you give that talk?
Of course I did. But I used to have a problem when I drink. I never wanted to go before people. So here I am for the first time. I'm sipping wine and I'm going to address people. I used to shake. My legs would shake if I'm forced to interact with the people after drinking. And don't forget, I was a very heavy drinker. What I could take, not many people could take. What I took, 10 people could take and still get drunk.
Yeah.
But I never used to go before people when I'm drunk. Or
But
when
there
I'm
you
tested, just testing. So when I got myself for the first time, I'm sipping kidogo ndio nitoke kwa gari niende ku. Actually, I opened the door, then opened the hind door, and the door, is blocking where people are coming from.
Yeah.
I took my.
I took a swig.
I never even took that bottle again. I threw it away.
That is the point and moment you decided.
I knew I was gone.
This is getting up.
I knew I was going to do alcoholism, and I left. I never drank again. So equally, anytime you find yourself doing something you can't do any other people are seeing, is the time to think about it.
All right. Let's end it there, Prof, because Leo, it seems, well, folks,
that's many years ago.
Many
Let
years.
nobody think I've been drinking for the last 3, 5, 10 years or so.
Yeah.
That is enough time for somebody to have been born and have become a man.
And it's a valuable lesson even for me.
Yeah.
Right, folks, that's the discussion we've had with Prof. Even the good Lord Jesus Christ himself said, if that which is done in darkness will be exposed in the light. And Prof is saying, if you're doing something, if you're hiding something from your partner, from your, your significant half, then probably it's not the right thing to do. And thank you for joining us on the discussion. Until we see you next time, this is Let's Talk Love.